Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video in Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Syndra commentary guide, but this isn't really gonna be about Syndra. This is gonna be our first video of the new patch. However, this video is from the previous patch because, of course, with any new major patch, generally it takes some time for me to test out builds to try out, what works and what does not. So generally, it's gonna take at least a week or more for me to play test a lot of these builds and then make videos on them, because obviously there's no point to make videos on builds that aren't good or don't work, etc. So instead, what I've done here is just to cover up the hole in the content from, of course, the daily uploads from the previous patch to now the new patch, where there's basically going to be no content for a week. I'm just going to put out this video from the previous patch, and the point here is not really to teach you guys Syndra ADC or APC or anything like that, but it's really more so just to, as the title says, to not give up. So basically, just a little bit of a spoiler, we are not going to be doing very well in the early game. Okay, so we're going to be put very far behind as an entire team, and then we're going to see how we get back into the game, which obviously these kind of games do happen to everyone now and again, sometimes even very often, and sometimes you just feel like you want to give up. Definitely, I did feel in this game that this game was kind of hopeless. Like, you can see here that Seraphine can't even get to the fruit, and Lulu even just straight up denies the fruit, taking a tower shot to do so, and now Maokai is hovering for a dive. So you can see Maokai goes in, Seraphine does have to heal, and a little bit of a botched one because Lulu did end up tanking the tower and dying, so it doesn't start too bad. Although we didn't get the kill there. So here I end up trying to go for the Maokai. I autoed the wrong target and I stepped too close to him, so his passive was able to proc. So a huge mechanical error on my part. If I flash autoed him, I actually think I probably get the kill. I'm not sure if Syndra auto does enough damage, but I autoed the Krug instead, and I stepped right next to him, allowing him to auto me and proc his passive healing. And obviously after that, Kai'Sa just came and I stood no chance whatsoever. So already kind of going a little bit bad. I basically flashed to give them a kill, which is probably worst case scenario. So yeah. Yeah, you guys get the idea of where this is going. It's only minute 2 and we've already died and blown our flash to do so. So you can already see this is probably not going to be the hottest of games. Furthermore, I do play Syndra, but I haven't played Syndra. At the time of this gameplay, I haven't played Syndra in a very, very long time, since the previous Syndra video I made on the channel, because I've been playing, of course, just mainly ADCs and building them AP if I need to. But in this game, we have a full AD top side with Seraphine building support, so we needed a little bit of AP and then decided to pull out the Syndra. Turns out that wasn't really the best idea because, yeah, you guys can see that it's not really going too hot at the moment. Maokai is back for a repeat gank, and of course he already knows we've blown all of our summon spells at this point. He saw Seraphine, flash and heal. He saw me flash to chase after him and such, so we are very, very vulnerable to getting ganked. And here I decide to just recall to just remove the risk of getting ganked. Seraphine doesn't choose to do the same, so she's in a little bit of trouble here in a 1v3, but she is safely under the tower for now. Kai'Sa has not backed in a long while, but she is still very, very far ahead, though, because she does have 2 kills, giving her a BF sword as well as a dagger, of course, building towards the terminus. So here, Maokai goes in, but does get CC'd under tower and takes a couple of tower shots. So honestly, the enemy team have been kind of botching their dives and their engages, and really the first death that we got was more our fault, our misplay, than the enemy team really playing well. And so far, it's not really the enemy team is really playing that well. It's just that, of course, Syndra early game is not really the most... I mean, Syndra early game is actually decent, right? Like, you can land poke and such. It's not horrible, but it's not the best either, because you don't really do a lot of significant damage. All you can really do is poke. It's sort of like a little bit like playing maybe like an Ezreal early game where you can toss your Qs, but it's not going to do that much damage. And you can poke a little bit, but you can't really kill anyone in the early game. Now, level 5 is a point where you can get a kill if you manage to full combo someone and ult them. However, of course, that is a little bit of a challenge at the moment, considering how we're getting shoved in. And you can see all the enemies are kind of making their way down. Yasuo as well as Maokai are now here. I'm just trying to get my CS and then move to maybe help. But Zed already dies by that time. Kayn is in a little bit of trouble, getting run down by Kai'Sa and as well as Yasuo. So ends up that Yasuo goes after me, and as well as Seraphine. Yasuo picks up a triple here, and then dives Seraphine and picks up a quadra kill, giving him a quadra kill at minute 4. Yeah, which is Yeah, which is pretty horrible. I mean, Yasuo, you know, he had no kills before this. Now he has 4 kills, and he just has now an insane goal lead. But even so, you can see that Kaisa has like about the same goal as him. So like Kaisa is super fed, you know, Yasuo is super fed, and my team so far, I'm not doing very well at all. And neither is anyone else particularly. I mean, I guess Kaden is not doing too bad, but he hasn't even gone his form yet, so he's not gonna be too useful at least for the moment. So here, Lulu is out of mana, but she is able to flash out of the way. And there I was thinking Seraphine ult was going to hit, and I was thinking my ult probably would be enough. However, that is definitely not the case because Lulu still was able to flash away. Of course, she was never really under any threat this entire game, so why would she ever have to flash, you know, prior to that instance, right? So, enemy team picks up the dragon. Maokai comes to gank us for like the 3rd time in this game. We're definitely getting camped by him at the moment. And now here I'm trying to quickly proc the mimics before the enemy makes it back to lane. Because if that happens, we're never gonna get a chance to walk up and proc the mimics. Seraphine needs to do the same though, but it's not really in range. Finally, there goes Seraphine procs the mimics. We get a plate. And we're actually trying to get the 2nd plate, but Kaisa actually comes over, and it's a little bit too difficult to do that. And now Yasuo is here as well. I'm trying to go out of vision into the bush. Lulu out knocks up both of us, and Yasuo doesn't actually follow up with the ulti, so a bit of a misplay from Yasuo there. I think he could have killed Seraphine if he ulted her, and then this like ult Q auto probably would have killed her under tower. But now Kayn is running into 4 people by taking the Hex Gate down. Seraphine is really dangerously low as well. Yasuo feeling himself here. Of course, he does have a shield bow already, and he also just picked up that quadra kill. Wind walls the Seraphine root, hit Seraphine. Not able to follow up with the ulti though. Now Maokai goes in, finishes the Seraphine off. I'm back, but I can't really do anything, honestly. Like, again, I have no items, and all I can really do is toss damage. Like, Syndra, not very useful, right? She's pure damage, and maybe a little bit of CC with the pushback on her E, but that's really not, like, it is CC, but it's more of like peeling for yourself kind of CC, and not really the kind that you set people up or anything like that. So at this point, the Kaisa is really low, flashes the Kayn Q, and Kayn is not able to pick up the kill onto Kaisa, and not able to I don't even know if she has a shutdown now, because she only has 2 kills, but I do think she has a small shutdown at the moment. But either way, Kaisa is able to escape with her life, and at this point of the game, 7 minutes in, we're actually only 3k behind, so it's really not like that bad yet. Of course, personally, ourselves, we are having a relatively horrible game, but on the whole as a team, my team is actually doing pretty alright. Like, you can see Zed is actually really fed. Of course, not as fed as Yasuo, because Yasuo got that quadra kill, but he is decently fed. Is the Zed. Everyone else kind of doing alright. Like, you can see Ornn is on par with his counterpart, so is Kayn on par with his counterpart. Zed's a little bit behind. I'm very behind Kaisa. I'm like 2.5k gold behind Kaisa. And Seraphine is actually only a little bit behind Lulu. So really, it's kind of just me at the moment. I'm kind of the problem of my team. I am able to get a decent amount of poke onto Maokai though, which gives me 44 first strike gold. Of course, first strike is a mid-game rune, which we're kind of getting to the mid-game now, although I'm really far behind, so that's a little bit of an issue. Now Yasuo is coming on the way. I gotta get out the way because he can just dash through the minions onto me. And here's another wave, so he's definitely gonna dash through this wave and try to get onto me. I just basically shove him away with my E for a little bit of peel, but I don't think he was really intending to go on me anyway. Fight breaks out in mid lane, I'm trying to make my way there. And Kaisa gets a little bit caught out. I mean, I know I'm not gonna kill her here with the ulti. I'm 0-3 with only 1 item. But honestly, I'm just trying to do as much damage to her as possible. Hopefully my team can do something about it. Doesn't quite look like the case though. Ornn goes in with the ult. And it's definitely becoming a full-on team fight here. Maokai goes in real deep. Gets killed off by Seraphine. And here I know Yasuo has a huge shutdown, so I flash auto for the 800 gold shutdown because I really need that gold. Obviously Zed could have easily gotten that kill with the death mark. He was already dead, but you know, being as behind as I was, I really just wanted that shutdown. I think flashing for 800 gold shutdown is definitely worth it, although that definitely was a KS. No two ways about it. But yeah, I really needed that goal to try to get myself back into the game now. Our team now has objective bounties, although I feel that after that one bounty is probably going to fall off because now we're almost even in goal with the enemy team. I don't think the bounties are going to stay up anymore. Yeah, the bounties actually just just fell off. So here we're chain CCing the Maokai. Mordekaiser is coming. Now honestly, Maokai and Mordekaiser are not the biggest problems in the world. It's really the Yasuo and the Kaisa being the problems. And of course Maokai can of course make it such that Yasuo and Kaisa can reach us easily, which is kind of really the main problem there. I'm not sure how that Mordekaiser E hit me. I thought I was outside of the path, but it did CC me for a second there, allowing Yasuo to catch up and kill me, which is yeah, which is not great. And of course, since Yasuo and Kaisa are super fed, they're like 9.5k gold, the most in the game. I'm not sure what Oran's doing there. Lulu becomes really amazing, right? Because whenever you have a hyper carry that's doing well, both Kaisa and Yasuo being that, you can just buff them and they become so much harder to kill. So here I'm going for like the armor pen kind of not armor pen, the magic pen kind of build with the Soul Stealer and the Infinity Orb. I don't think this is the best build. I think Ludens is probably better, but I'm just trying out this build for this match. It didn't turn out so well, as you guys can see. Here I try to hide behind my teammates, doesn't quite work out. I mean, I'm just pelting Maokai at the moment, but Maokai isn't really a priority target. He is, of course, a tank who doesn't really mind taking the damage. Here I was trying to hide because I have ult. I'm seeing if I can one-shot someone when they come by, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. Yasuo now could chase us if he wants to through the minions, but I don't think he really is gonna do that because we're really close to our base and Zed is missing. Nearly hits a tornado onto Seraphine. Zed is pinging. I guess he's going in onto Maokai, but thankfully he does not ult, or he does ult the Maokai now, but I don't think he's gonna kill him. Seraphine ults straight into the Yasuo wind wall, which was really predictable. Of course, Yasuo is a hard counter to Seraphine. Other champions like Braum also kind of hard counter Seraphine because your ult can just get instantly cancelled by a single ability, single basic ability at that, not even the enemy ult. So here, once again, all I can really try to do is to of course, use my poke. Ornn makes the same mistake as Seraphine, but it's even worse because Ornn ulti actually takes so long to actually come back, and he actually casted the ult when he already saw the wind wall being up. So I think he didn't even know Ornn ult gets absorbed by the wind wall, so that's kind of a disaster as well. Enemy team has 2 dragons now, 5k gold lead over us, as well as a tower over us. I'm still basically not doing too well at the moment. However, with 2 items, I am semi-useful, as in I will do some kind of damage, although of course not that insane kind of burst one-shot damage that you're looking for when you're playing a champion like Syndra. Here Maokai was hiding in the bush, goes on us. I try to flash and flash away. And here you can see they all actually kind of stand in the choke point. I actually do an insane amount of damage just from the choke point. However, I just walk up like an idiot and basically just end up dying. And I guess you could say I'm not very good at mages sometimes because, you know, as an ADC you basically just have to max range auto attack people, and you could technically say for mages you just need to max range cast your spells, but there I was really kind of focusing on aiming my Q, and I just walk in, like obviously on the replay it just looks very stupid because it just looks like I'm walking straight into the enemy team, looks like I'm inting, but in reality in the game itself I was really just trying to aim my Q, and I hadn't realized that I walked that close to the enemy team, so that was kind of an embarrassing one. So fight is happening at the Baron Pit. Kaisa is basically running for the hills. There's a huge wave here. Of course, we can't let this wave go to waste, and we can't let it die to the tower. So we're gonna quickly grab the wave. Kaisa is cleaning house with my team though. Is finally gonna go down to the Ornn, and right now I am 1-5, and I am like what 4+ k gold behind the Kaisa. It's really kind of a horrible game for me at the moment, and yeah, I mean my team is like my top side is still doing really decent. Of course, Zed is way behind the Yasuo, all things considered, but aside from the 2 bot laners, I think my team is actually doing not too badly. I mean KDA is not too great, but in terms of gold they have been kind of keeping up, and as long as that is the case, like the goal gap is not insurmountable, there's definitely still a chance to get back into the game, and that's why you can see I'm still farming. I'm still trying to get to my death cap. and I'm just trying my best to pick up farm wherever I can, because obviously Syndra is going to be useful in the late game as well. Whenever you get when you get your eventual mage items, you are still going to be useful. You are still going to be very do a lot of damage in the late game. Doesn't matter how the early game went. Eventually going to hit your break points, and you are going to be useful. Fight breaking out in the mid lane. 1 HP is the Z, goes into stasis. I managed to ult one person, being the Yasuo, and we are able to get rid of him. Now Maokai is going in. He's not really the priority target as usual, but we're just hitting whoever we can at this point, basically. And just tossing out our spears. Kaisa is basically 1 HP. And my ult is coming back up in a while. So here I was trying to just see if I can hide there, and like if she walks by I can combo her. Now they're trying to do the Drake at this point. However, they don't really do it very fast without Kaisa. Kaisa finally makes her way there. So now we're just trying to land poke for free while they're doing the Drake. I actually managed to steal the Drake, I guess with the help of my Soul Stealer. And Kaisa is nearly dead. I actually killed Maokai, and kind of this is the point of the match. Like even just now that fight at the blue buff area, kind of is the point that I actually feel that I'm being useful, because obviously you can see I've been feeding the entire early game basically, and I haven't really been very useful. Now I actually have death cap, and now I actually am kind of useful. So now we are doing Baron. Now the problem with not playing an ADC is that Baron is going to be done very slowly, and I think it's not a good idea. Kayn is taking a ton of damage, and here is the time where we kind of peel off the Baron. We want it to reset. And Mordekaiser is getting close, so we are just getting rid of him with the full combo there, and he goes down. I'm picking up the blue buff here. Yasuo is now trying to 1v, I don't know how, 1v3 my team, I guess. I don't even think my help is needed, so here I'm actually just recalling because Kaisa decided to actually push mid. I don't know why we're starting off Baron again, because we're all really low. I don't think this is a good idea at all, unless we kill Maokai, which looks like could be a possibility here. Kaisa is on the side, so we gotta be aware of that. Maokai is gotten rid of by myself. Lulu has already popped the ulti onto herself, so Kaisa has no Lulu ulti. And we're slowly kind of picking them off. So now with the enemy jungler dead, now we can actually try to do Baron. Seraphine kind of has no mana though, so that is a little bit of an issue. And here Kaisa is coming in with the Lulu with a possibility of like 1v5ing it, or the 2v5ing it, but unfortunately she separates herself from the Lulu, so she makes a very big mistake. Of course, I play Kaisa myself. That's very common to do, is that you basically separate yourself from your support, and now she basically gets her kills her Lulu as well, because of course Lulu was just trying to save her. She dies, and Lulu basically can't save herself. And now at this point, we have the T-Hex. We're gonna use it to barrel down mid, as our team is also pushing top, and in the meantime, some time is being wasted with the red buff there. T-Hex ulting the mid lane inhibitor. Not much the Maokai can do here. And here the Elder Dragon is up. So me and Kayn are two-manning the Elder Dragon, while the TX is basically distracting the enemy team, as is the Zed, right? They have two side lanes pushing in, and they have to kind of respond. Because if they come to the Elder Dragon, they will just lose their inhibitors and possibly lose the game. So, ironically, this ends up becoming basically a free Elder Dragon. Of course, with Elder Dragon and Baron at the current moment, ending the game becomes a lot more likely. So here I'm trying to join up with my team. Of course, with Elder Dragon in hand, Zed is still split pushing. And if people come to stop him, he can just ult them. Yasuo tries to go in, but I managed to push him away. I'm pretty low though, so I gotta kind of be careful here. But here Zed's still pushing in the top lane. We are still pushing in the bot lane. Kaisa is dead. Maokai is dead as well. So they're defending the base with 3 people. We make it 2 people as we get rid of the Yasuo as well. And then yeah, at this point the game is basically won, and that is a pretty big come from behind. From myself especially, but of course my team helped me out a ton as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this first video of the new patch, which is basically the old patch. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.